So, as I have always said, time and time and time again, write to your MP, call them, email them. It has an effect. And we are seeing this take place right now. Now, I have said before, I have stood against austerity measures going back for ages on this channel. And I don't understand why people think all of a sudden I'm going to change my mind on that. But hey, there you go. um, so there's a lot of people who've been saying, "Oh, you guys aren't going to change your mind. You're not going to speak out about this." No, we have been. We have been actively doing that, and I want to show you all how you can do that. So I am actually going to show you the letter I have actually sent to Dan Jarvis just this morning. Indeed, of course, if we do get a response, I will talk about it on this channel as well. So, as I've said before, don't think austerity is a good way to go. I do not think these cuts are going to be good. I think, again, is the complete wrong way and direction to go for this. Absolutely. There are alternatives to austerity that have been constantly talked about by Labour MPs. So, we are seeing a pushback on this plan and this idea because Labour MPs do not want to go in this direction. They have been having a lot of pressure put on them by their constituents, and that is what should happen. Like I say, if you have not written to your MP yet, do so. Even if they are not part of the Labour Party, you should do so anyway. Because even if they are a member of the opposition, it doesn't matter. It puts pressure on them anyway. This is how, believe it or not, you interact with your government. You protest, you write to them, you call them. This is the type of stuff you do. So I'm going to show you my letter, and like I say, please feel free to well, don't copy it outright, but do feel free of course to write to your own MP. Let me know what your MP's responses are, etc. I'm always interested and, like I say, fascinated to know. So before we do get on into this, please do remember to click on the like, share, and of course the subscribe button down below. Of course, there is the Buy Me Coffee link, the YouTube thank you button, and of course, as always, there is the like and share button down below as well as the Pony Club. It is Wednesday today, so there will be a Pony Club video at some point today as well. So watch out for that. And of course, let's crack on then into this. So going over into Grammarly, just to make sure everything is all accurate and correct before I send it on with this. So here we have it. So, dear Mr. Jarvis. So, first of all, I would like to congratulate you on some of the current government achievements so far. Again, always good to start off like this. So, the Workers' Rights Bill is commendable. It deserves to, of course, be discussed more with the public. Additionally, I do want to express my appreciation for the Renters Reform Bill. Eliminating no-fault evictions will benefit renters across the board. Moving forward, I believe your next priority should be rent control, but that is not the main topic of my letter. Like I say, basically tell them, hey, you're doing a good job. And yes, Labour are, even though all this stuff is going on with the, benefit stuff, I know I disagree with it, but hey, overall still, they're not doing quite a bad job in a lot of other areas. So give them credit where credit is due. And I have always said this, even back when we had a Conservative government. I even said, look, if the Conservative government ever did actually anything good, I'd be like, okay, yeah, good job. Chris Skidmore, classic example. I think everything else politically we disagree on 100% stuff. But I'll tell you what, there is a Tory who actually gets why the government, why the UK should transition towards net zero, and has spoken out very passionately in favor of doing that. There is someone who gets it. So even if there is you disagree with a politician 100%, if you ever hear anything, they say that you agree with, write to them, tell them, hey, your stance on that is pretty good, believe it or not, that has an effect. And this is part of the political engagement process. Do not be afraid to write to an MP, even if maybe you disagree with them. Maybe you 100% disagree with them on certain things. But even if they say or do something you think is good, you should write to them. Because guess what? That encourages them to do more of that type of stuff. So, that's how I've opened, of course, this letter to Jarvis. However, of course, we continue. Recently, we have witnessed the government now leaning towards austerity measures. It is very disappointing to see that under, of course, the previous Conservative government, Labour actively opposed austerity and cuts. Given your past stance against these measures, it is very disheartening to, of course, see this shift. I encourage you to reconsider this approach, especially since there are alternatives to austerity. Furthermore, we both know that you are currently competing against Reform UK in this seat, and a move in this direction could jeopardize your chances in the next election. And that is true. That is true. If you know that your MP is competing against Reform in their current seat, remind them that, this push to austerity isn't going to bring you more votes. It could very well push them in the direction of Reform UK, especially up here in the north. Especially up here in the north. So remind them of that fact. Remind them, just remember this seat in particular always, meant to be a very safe Labour seat. However, the past two elections, Jarvis has had to really see off Reform UK. Really had to see them off. The only reason I believe he has managed to sort of hold on to his seat, of course, is that Dan Jarvis did a lot. I mean, he did a lot for miners' welfare back when he first got in. So sort of like the late, early sort of 2000s. He did a lot of that. And I think he's still getting a lot of the support from that vote and the stuff that he did because of that. Now, of course, that will not last forever. He should and be made very aware of that fact, that is the case. So it is worth reminding your MP, hey, there is this threat at the next general election. If you go in this direction, you could very well be handing your seat to Reform UK at the next election. So, however, I also continue in this because I think you should say, hey, have you considered this? What about this? So this is what I continue on. I would also, of course, like to highlight now a very significant opportunity this government should seize. The ongoing brain drain now occurring in America presents the chance for the UK. This government should now actively seek to attract talent from the US before other countries do so. This could significantly enhance the UK's productivity and innovation. And it will absolutely do that. Absolutely do that. We should be, and I did this last video as well, we should absolutely be going after all those American scientists and people over there in the US with, high degrees, high learning capabilities. But yeah, we should absolutely be pulling them over. Absolutely be pulling over. We should be actively going after them because other countries will do so as well. And they are actively starting to think that. And we need to be, should we say, first in line and starting that now before other countries do so. And then this is the other idea that I've constantly talked about before. Another opportunity currently lies with Canada. Currently, the tariffs on Canadian goods are now prompting many businesses. I need to probably change that to the US tariffs. Currently, US tariffs. In fact, there we go. We'll actually change that to US tariffs. There we are. And goods in Canada now prompting many businesses, of course, to seek now alternative suppliers and, of course, markets. We should capitalize on this. Absolutely, we should. This is a huge opportunity for us. So, while a comprehensive free trade deal may take time, and it would, we've said this before, these free trade deals take on average 8 to 10 years. So you do not have time to mess about at this moment in time with a full trade deal. Yes, eventually that is something we should aim for, but that will take a long time and we will not see any immediate benefits. What we should do is what I've said before, sectorial deals. And this is where I talk about this with Jarvis as well. So while, of course, a comprehensive trade deal may take time, pursuing now sectoral agreements between, pardon me, between, of course, the UK and Canada could be advantageous. For instance, the oil market, of course, on the east coast of Canada does lack the infrastructure necessary now to transport the oil to the UK. If we were to, of course, invest in building in that infrastructure, we could then facilitate the delivery now of oil to UK refineries. This is just one of now the many potential opportunities. And again, it is. Get some thinking about it. Are you, on board with this opportunity? Because if we start doing stuff like this, it benefits us both. Massively benefits us both on that. And of course, this is the important one because many people forget this, even if you're going to send an email to them. Thank you for taking time to read this letter. I look forward to your response. Bear in mind, if you want a response from your MP, always worth highlighting because everyone, if you ever talk to your MP, many people do forget this. If you want your MP to respond, you should put the end of the letter, look forward to your response. Remember to put your name and address on that letter as well. Even if you send an email, you must remember to do that as well. Because if you send an email to an MP, if it doesn't have a address that is not in their constituency, they will just ignore it. So always remember to do that. If you want a response, say you would like a response, remember to put your address on there as well. Because that is the biggest one that a lot of people forget, especially you guys who send emails. If you do not put your address into that email, they delete it straight away because they don't know where this email's come from. If it is not someone from their constituency, they don't read it. That's an email. However, there are other things you can do about that if you want to sort of, maybe email or send a letter to someone, maybe who's not your MP. So bear that in mind as well. So, like I say, let me know what you think down below. I think, to be honest, that's a pretty good letter. I am probably going to flesh it out just a little bit more. Like I say, it's not 100% ready to go just yet. But, of course, I thought I'd give you an idea of what a MP letter that I would sort of write to sort of my MP, what is going to be sort of written. And, of course, if we get a response, then I will talk about it on this channel as well. So, as always, let me know what you think down below. Please do help out the channel by visiting the Patreon page, the Buy Me Coffee link, where you can buy me coffee, the YouTube thank you button, and of course, as always, there's the Pony Club down below as well. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.